I'm just running, the time evaluation for one day. It's like why I'm waiting for remaining people is, we are going to start a, new topic, whatever we generated the formula and all this stuff. So, we'll wait for a few people. So today, anyhow, I'm going to explain a key point. What is, positive time management and negative time management. Like, many people will face in their interviews that what is the difference between positive and negative. And even many times, I'm telling like many times, like even interviewer don't know really what is positive and negative. Means how it was happening within the, what is the difference SAP had given inside the logic within the schemas and PCRs. Generally, we'll, in the interviews, we'll explain positive time management. It will capture the clock in, clock out. And the negative time management, it will capture only the deviations. Okay, that is a straightforward answer actually whenever anybody poses a question like what is the difference between cost one negative time management, but there is a bit difference when you go to the technical side. If you are expert in positive time management, then you have to answer such kind of things like what is exactly what was happening within the schema for positive time management and for negative time. Shweta, I think we'll wait for another 5 minutes. Meanwhile, you have any questions?
No, Krishna.
No.
Krishna, hello?
Yes, Shweta.
Krishna, actually, I was trying to write one PCR today. Uh, I was using an operation last day of payroll period, LD by PT, and pushing it to a time type. And then I was reading another PCR on first of the month. First, that is which one? VARS 3 REDAY I was reading.
Read
01.
a
Yeah, and 01. And then I was trying to call that on every month, on last day of the month, I was reading that and I was pushing to a time type. And I wanted to call the time type, and the time type was updating CA and BP. And on first of the month when I was reading that, it was not identifying the time type. So is there anything which we have to read that particular time type only on the last of payroll?
You have done this in this same server?
No, not here. In my system I was trying.
See, generally what will happen is when you write a PCR, so where you are passing the
Huh?
time test. First thing,
Okay.
let us say if you pass it to day balance table or month balance table.
Month
Okay.
balance table.
Month balance table, then wait. And if you are the second PCR, if it is reading after 1 year or say 2 years,
Yeah.
then the characteristics you have to check, right?
Yeah, I have given transfer from previous year and all that. I have, the value is updating correctly, but the PCR was not uh, reading that the result which is stored in time type.
Have you given that HRS is equal to M followed by the relevant time type?
I had given HRS is equal to L.
L, it will take the previous day ZES table.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Right?
yeah, I think
See,
where I
if you are giving a just go through again, whenever you
okay.
are not getting the output, no, you have given HRS, right?
Yeah.
Go to documentation, what L is doing, what M is doing. So because we are
Okay.
passing to month balance table, what I said, month balance table is a solid table. Day balance table is a ZES table. So if you
Yeah.
here you are giving M will read month balance table and L will read ZES table, that too the 1 day exact previous to this
Yes,
table.
yes,
That's why
you
this
are right,
L we
Krishna.
are using for carry forward, right?
Yes, yeah, it will work. Yeah, this where I have done a mistake.
You change this
Thank
to
you.
M, I think it will work.
Yes, it will work. Thank you.
Shrikant, you can speak. You see, Srikant, as per your chart, uh, there is no link between payroll, PCRs, and what we say time PCR. The operations, if you go to maintain functions and operations, here itself they have given time or payroll. In payroll, they have separate functions and operations. In time management, they have a separate functions and operations. So there is no link between functions and operations. Completely, it is different. That is why there are two modules. So we are going to work. Initially, we are working on time management things, functions as well as operations. Then we will go for payroll, and how the linkage was happening. I am going to explain through some ZL tables and what are the functions using in payroll to import the time data and all this stuff. So we are going on that, no issues. So it's already 15 minutes late. We are let us say we'll start the session. See, before going to this, you remember like what we are going to work on. So we are going to generate a compensatory off for the employees who are working on holidays or weekends, say Saturday, Sunday in our example, as per our schedule. So before that, what we have to, blindly I can tell, if I entered a attendance on a, weekend or something, we will pick the data. But the business, why they require, will happen is, all the people we have role process. When you are coming to office, marking clock time, swiping or something like that. Else, if you are a consultant, you have to send your time sheet. Once your manager approves, it will come and it will update SAP data, right? So what I am explaining here is the business scenario, why we require this comp off and how we are going to do this. It's not like whatever the if let us say we don't have approval from your manager. Saturday or Sunday you went to office, blindly you swiped your card, and that won't means to you giving a comp off, right? So what it will be there? It will be there. Approval process will be there. So manager has to approve your comp off. Then there will be a attendance which will be triggering directly. Let us say in our example 0100. Many people don't know about the configuration of CATS, but the CATS configuration, whenever in the portal, if they update, the attendance on weekends on or Sundays or any public holidays, okay, there will be approval process or their workflow. It will go to your manager desktop. Then if a manager approves, it will directly update the attendance which you want. So here we are taking an example of attendance 0100, and whenever this attendance is there, then only we have to consider it as comp off. So we are working on April, right? Let us say I will give something in the month of April. But it's not, weekend. So we will do something on weekend. Say 19th is Sunday. Right? Actual hours and all this stuff will be 0 because it's a off day. Right? So 19th April, I am entering an attendance, which will happen, when managers approves your request. Right? There will be a tool. It can be ESS or it can be any other tool. What will happen, even if it is a different kind of tool, what we people will do is whatever the data we have, that will be mapped to your input type 2000 2, that is the attendance, and it will be stored in the particular attendance type, right? So what I am doing here, in time evaluation, the two in the negative time evaluation. So what will happen in negative time evaluation is, let us say I am running for only one day. I am not going to whatever the date we entered, that is 19th April we entered the attendance, but generally I am telling how the data will pick. Let us say this, on the particular day there is no attendance, there is no absence, and nothing is there, right? So how it is considering the things as present in into time evaluation. There is a if POS. So there is a standard functionality by SAP. If you are using if condition, we already used, if you remember, if a PCR, then else, then and if, right? So if you are not giving PCR and if you are giving a standard given POS, what it will check? It will check the time management status 1 or 2. If it is not equal to 1 or 2, it will go to else. So our time evaluation is 9, which is negative time evaluation. So the logic will go to else, right? So then we have several functions over there here, if you see. So here the important function in negative time evaluation is P2000. P2000 will play a key role for positive and negative. If you see in the positive time management, this function won't read. What this function will do is, see, whatever the PSP table is nothing but your configuration table for the particular day. You have a working hours called 9. Okay, even if employee present or not, it will read all the configuration tables, and in the time pair, this is the new table which we are going to work today, that is tip table, TAP. Okay, so the time pair will form as per your daily work schedule with 9 hours, stating employee was present with this 9 hours. Then it will check the remaining info tags like absence and all this stuff. When absence, if absence is there, then it will remove this. Whatever the entry is there in time frame. So what it was happening is whenever there is negative time management, whatever the daily work schedule is there, the same hours, this function will consider as working hours, like work hours. So it will treat as employee was present. So there is no requirement of attendance for the particular employees who belongs to negative time management. In positive time management, there is no function of 2000. Then it will check all the info types like 2011, 2002. In negative time management, also it will read. If you see here, so we have to go to the day which we are working on to understand more. So we have entered absence on 19th, if I remember right. See, you will have a message or here somewhere there is a note like whatever we want, we can give message. This is a separate thing. We'll go here. If you go here again, provide time data on on 19th only, right? We had given. So sorry. The only thing what we have to pass the attendance. If it is a non-working day, we have to pass the number of hours. So whenever we are passing the attendance, in holidays or weekly offs, we have to pass number of hours. Let us say 9 to some. Well, then only the time pair will form. So that is the mandatory, things we have to pass whenever we are maintaining a attendance on weekly off. So this anyhow it will form the time pair because there is the attendance. It will check. It is not forming anything. So this is the time clock in and clock out like whatever we are giving in 2002. Then it will form the time pair. Okay. With if you see few of the things which are we are working on new, a 3 which is called a pair type, which we have to understand now to go further. There are pair types like 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, where 0 is out of work. If out of work, then also some time pair is there. 0 will come into the picture. Okay, 1 and 3 will belongs to attendance related. 1 will come when you enter 2011. Some data is there from time events infotype, and 3 will come only from 2002 infotype, that is attendance infotype. I will show you. Don't worry. We will work on these scenarios. Then you can understand what is this 3 coming from. So this is how the standard functionality will form in the pairs. Okay, if it is from 2002 infotype, the time pair will be 3. Okay, if it is from 2011, the time pair will be 1. If it is from absence infotype, then the time pair will be 2. You will you will get a better idea when you work on this more. These are the standard functions already are given. So I want to explain something about the standard functions. Because there is a attendance already over there, there is no time pair form TIP table. Okay, so because there is a attendance entered here whatever the data we entered there, it was forming out. Right? We are working on only this function as of now, because we are maintaining a attendance for the employee on a Sunday. Let us say we'll write a PCR again. So what is the latest one we created? 7 we created yesterday. Zero 07 I think, right, yesterday. Okay, now we'll create a new PCR stating that the comp of attendance so let us say we are creating the same PCR Z907. Some standard functionalities I am going to tell you here about the we are going to use a new operation over here, that is OUTTP. For nothing else, documentation was one and use this one, which is pay tag. Now we should be aware work. It's a standard function. Coming from whenever the data is coming from 2001, okay, if there is a attendance, the pay type will come from it will form as pay type 2 for attendances, that is from 2000 if 2001 it will form as pay type 2. If it is 2002 it will form as pay type 3. If it is 2011 it will form as pay type 1. Okay, these are the standard things. When you go to the pay types table, you can understand and I can explain better about the pay types and all this stuff. So that is why I am going to use some operation called OUTTP with the pay type. So I will show you some tables for more clarification. Right, let us say here, if you see there is a table, we are going to work on these tables again and again. There will be a table like, there is an integration PT. Let us say if you forgot about, these three fields, which is time evaluation grouping and a PCR grouping will be there. That is the modifier groupings, or here, which is the standard one. It will be 0, 1 by default within our schema. Then a integration we have configuration. We will do in the next class what is the configuration. Whenever you are going to the pay table, there are few tables again. This is one of the table I am showing. See what it is telling. This is pay type 1, pay type 2, and pay type 3. There is a process type for every pay type and a time type. So again you have pay type 2 with a process type and a time type. So whenever you have pay type 1, process type will be P like presence. If you have pay type 2, the standard configuration will be like A stands for absence. Again for 3, it will consider it as presence. Okay, this table is a bit confusing. We will have a separate session where I can explain more for this table. Similarly, we have another table, the view table. So you don't find much difference over here. You will have pay type 0, 1, 2, and 3. So we are going to work in depth when you are working on overtime or here. So here what we have to remember blindly is pay type 1 and 3 are for attendances and 2 is for absences. This was the SAP given standard functionality. Still we are not going to the tables while we are writing PCRs today. Right? So what I am telling is, if it is star, because we are in into time management, we can enter only 2002. We can't enter 2011 because it's a native time management. We are not going to maintain time management grouping and all this stuff. So I am giving 3 because it's 3 will come when there is a attendance input. Right? If it is star, and leave. If it is 3, I am going to work more. Like then I am checking. So I have to check with the attendance type. Even I have to check. I think it is there here or not. Just hold on 1 minute. I will be back. Yes, Amit, still you can't hear correctly. Is it audible for you? Voice is breaking. It's okay now? Oh. See, it was happening for everybody or? Okay.
Krishna, it is happening for me also.
Okay.
The voice is sometimes lagging.
We will see. I think I have. Maybe I have to see something went slow for me here. So okay, we'll continue. If something wrong, let me know again. Now it is breaking. I have to check with my signal provider again, I think. Oh. Just I will see how much I am getting. The speed after. The same PCR I am giving, it will go to the same PCR with say. So what I am going to create, the text I am going to create is the same level. I am going to create X over here. So whenever it goes to no, if it is not free, it will go to this X and it will read. You have GC while and there is a operation called PC while to call the sub rule, and you have PA by TP, some other operation is also there to do these things. When the situation comes with the scenario, we will work on those things also. So initially think about this. So whenever there is the day is not free, then what we have to check? ERST. So is it holiday or not? So here I am checking 0 is not a holiday, and whatever 1 to 9 holiday classes are there, these things are completely holidays. So if it is not a holiday and if it is not a free day, I am not going to generate anything because we are generating the compound. So if employee works on a holiday, then only we have to generate the compound. So I am generating the same thing here to the compound. Right? The first confusing part for you will be with a new function, that is a new operation, that is OE2TP. Then a new operation called p-type, which is the pair type. Almost it will be confusing for for all the people. What is the pair type 3 for as we work? So you can check pair type 3. It will form whenever there is the entry from 2002 input type. That's what I want to show over here. If you remember 2002 we have entry over here. So whenever the pair was forming from 2002. By default, the pair type will be 3. This is the pair type. You can go to the documentation somewhere here. So you will get what is pair type 1, 2, 3, and all this stuff. Okay, we will work on one and another. So here we are using this pair type and we are catching this number. If that is the pair type, we are considering it straightforward as a comp of. Then we will get a use requirement. VRST, Manu, I think that is a you can check when you require these things. You can check with VRST. So you go to the documentation when you require these things to check. Then you can use VRST. There are the tools. Whenever you require, you can maintain. See, if you remember here, we used this to compare the pair type. If it is 3 means definitely it is coming from 2002 info type. That we know. We should know, right? Then if it is 2003, then I am checking the attendance type. If it is 0100 the attendance type, then I am checking VRST, the day which the attendance type is there, is free or not, as per his planned working hours. If it is yes, then also this guy had attendance, then we are going to provide this. Means 1 day of comp off, which we are generating to the comp of time type, which we assigned in our configuration table, that is set base and data. Okay, if it is no, then because of the constraints we are passing the things to here, and then I am checking again. If it is not absence, I am checking with holiday clause also again. Okay, if it is no holiday and if employee works, then also we are not going to create comp off. On holidays, if he is working, then we are going to generate a comp off for this employee. Right? Few things we have to remember is, first we are in this PCR we are going to read the time pair TIP table, right? So for this kind of PCRs, when we are going to insert in the schema, where to insert and what function we have to use. So this is our schema. So we are working on the time data now. It's not related to directly to quota or something else. So what we are generating here is here 2001 is there, 2002 it will provide the absence. This will provide the attendance, right? So after this you have to insert the rule. Let us say we'll insert the same thing after to explain something more. What we have to do is, after 2002 we will insert the schema. See, I am going to explain something more over here. When you are going to insert a PCR, you have a if condition over here. If you see, which you are sign the log, if positive time management, all these lines will read, right? So then 2011, that is the time event, will come into picture. Because we are using negative time management, our things goes to else, right? So these lines were not as of now it is not for negative time management. When we work on positive time management, we will work on that. So it will go to a subschema called TDT0. There is a function called copy to call a subschema within a schema. There are schemas. We can have a subschema. Within the schema or subschema, we will have PCRs. Right? So what this subschema is doing, double click on this TD-T0, which is actually reading for us. So here you have a function called P2000, which will considering, for negative time evaluation, even there is no attendance, it will get the planned pairs from the work schedule and it will push into the time pair, stating it's a attendance. So now we have entered the attendance over here. So what we have to do is, after this subschema, if you enter our logic, whatever the PCR we have written, I think it should work. Then when you are reading the time pair, we are not going to modify our time pair, right? TIP table is the time pair table. So whenever I am telling time pair means it's a table TAP. We already work with Solado table, ZES table, Solado table and ZES table. Now we are going to work on TIP table, that is tip table. Okay, there are few things when you are going to change the time pair and we are going to read the time pair. Here we are going to read the time pair. What is the process type within the time pair? So there is a function given for RTIP for this to call such kind of PCR. So this is the PCR I have given. I am giving the PCR. So whenever you are calling such kind of time pairs, you have to provide Zen or here. So what is Zen? You can go to the functionality Zen. Whenever you are providing with the function RTIP, okay, we have to provide Zen in this. Let us see, we will see the output and I will come back, to explain what is this Zen. There are no more things when you are using with RTIP. You can provide Zen, you can, provide ARTP, one thing is there, then I will tell you about that, but this we will see now. See this, then when you are have we created the time tab? So on 19th, we should have a time pair with process type 3. We have inserted this.
Krishna,
Yes.
is ZCompo is the time tab that we have created? We should create. No? We haven't created, I think. ZCompo, the piece that we have inserted.
Okay, that is okay, but whatever the PCR we have written, that should read, right? So after this line end if we have written. Where it was going, see, there is a if condition, then else, then end if, right? Else, this was we have written, okay. After end if we have to put this. So you are putting our logic somewhere in the wrong place. If the time type is not there, we will get error over here itself, right? So the time type is already there, created. The pair type 3. So here our picture was reading like this. So whatever we have written, if this is the time pair, then we have written, the absence type. So the absence type was coming like 0, 100. So I think my network connection have some issues today. It was disconnected again and it is coming up. Okay, so it is going to S, and this time type is going to generate in ZES table. Let us say if you see here now, so what should happen here is because the time type is there, if you see, this functionality I think, right? Quota and CEMBT. When CEMBT is there in the ZES on the particular day, whatever that day it was generating, see it was generating with comp of with 1. So obviously the quota will generate because I created a new rule for comp of same as end leave. So the one leave will be generated to his basket, that is to comp of compensatory of quota. So you can utilize it later. That is the quota type 40. Right. So coming back to the PCR again, because I know you will be a bit confused of this PCR and especially the schema. Right. There is a Zen OR here. Right. Why we are giving Zen is whenever you are calling the time pair and you are telling it is not specific to the particular time type, or it's not specific to the particular PCR grouping, you have to mention the Zen OR here whenever you are calling the time pair. For example, what I will tell is there are in payroll there is a Zen and NOAB. Here you have Zen and ABRT. There are functions when you come to work on bifurcating the time types. We will work on this parameter 3, but parameter 2, if you are not giving Zen or yes, what it will do is it will think that you are bifurcating something based on your PCR grouping. I remove this and save this. If I run again, yes, this is the PCR. So if you run, the rule won't read for us. So you have to specify that there is no specific, ECR grouping we bifurcated. So that is the reason we are giving gen over here. There is no, other option also. We have to remember few of the, parameter 2 values when you are using RTIP. If not, go to RTIP. They will, tell you the details what it can be given over here. RTIP and PTIP. What is the Zen and what is blank it will do. And if you are going to parameter 3, what is ABRT? Just go through these things. If really you are not getting, then I will come back again. Because scenario wise we are explaining, because we are telling that Zen means the rule is called for all time types. It is not specific for any time type. So that is why we are going, we are giving Zen or. Right? So the parameter 3 we will work on that when it will come related to specifying employee groups. So as per the text you can understand it is related to time type. So we are not bifurcating based on the time type, whatever the rule we have written. So I am giving Zen over here. There is a slight confusion over here, but whenever we are using this relevant PCR, we have to mention it is general to all time types or it is specific to one time type. So when we are bifurcating based on the time type, then we can put this blank. So as of now we are not mentioning anything, so we are going to give gen over here. Then only our PCR will work in the time evaluation. If you run again after giving the Zen, your PCR will read and you will get a output to the ZCOM if all conditions were worked on for this. So any questions on this? Anybody?
Krishna, I have a question.
Yes, Sagar.
Hello?
Yes, Sagar, tell me.
Yeah, so this abscess, see, attendance quota type 40, when did we create that? The quota type, that the one comp of that is, added into the bucket. I don't think we create, because we were using the quota type as 10 always.
Pardon? Quota type is 10.
Yeah, but now it is 40. So did we create that somewhere, like for the comp of, like?
No, you will do the configuration as a consultant.
Okay, okay.
Right? They will run the time evaluation. Right? This will run in the background every day.
Right.
So whenever it was run, the quota will generate.
No, but the quota that is generating, it is in the quota type 40, right? So I'm just asking that in the did we create that quota type 40 in this class anytime, like because I don't recollect it. Okay.
That depends on your configuration. See, I already created a quota type called 40 in the backend configuration. I mapped a time type called ZCOM.
Right.
For 10, we created a time type called Z901, right?
Yes. Yes.
Likewise, in this quarter, I created a time type called ZCOM. Whenever ZCOM will come, comp of quarter will create. Whenever Z901 will come,
Okay.
our endly will create.
Okay. Okay. I got it.
So many times in the same situation, we have few things like compensatory off. Either typical task for any of the client to give to the employee straightforward. Okay, there are a number of checks. Again, first manager approval will require that all this stuff will go through workflows and all this stuff, which is not our really not our part. But let us say client will tell if the working hours are not equal to his this attendance, whatever the manager approved, the approved hours will come to the picture, right? So the approved hours, if they are not equal to minimum hours, whatever, let's say they can have a constant, or employee should work whatever the working hours are there in his daily work schedule or such kind of thing. So generally what we'll have is, if they have a comp off, they have to work for minimum 6 hours or 8 hours or 9 hours, whatever it is. So let us say if that is the example, let us say in this example, employee worked for 9 to say 12, right? Only 3 hours he worked. So is company going to provide the comp off or not? If whatever the rule we have written over here, right? This is not checking anything else. There is, pay type, it is 3 or not, it is coming from 2002 info type or not, and if this is the attendance or not. Then we are creating directly whatever the number, so the complete day for the employee as a comp off. So here let us say we have a check, like minimum hours he has to work as 8 or something. See, if you see here, there won't be any check. It will be, reading the same this thing, and the one was generating directly to the ZCOM time type, which we assigned already in the state base entitlement table. So the one is directly going to create for the employee, even the working hours of 3. So how to check this working hours before creating the 1 hour? A bit, enhancement of the existing PCR, which is really we will do. Nobody will create, like if you have attendance for 1 hour or half an hour also, nobody will give you the comp off as per the policy, or manager has to approve. So what I am going to do here is, because our rule is working over
Could you
here.
please explain what you are doing here?
See, your company have compensatory off, and you can avail that. Say your manager approved your compensatory day. Say this Saturday if you work, you will get a comp off. Okay, then you went to the office, within half an hour you came back, you have attendance on that, then it should give you the comp off or not.
Okay, we have to check the minimum working hours, right? That's what you're doing now.
Yes, in the company policy, all these things will be written.
Okay.
Okay, minimum hours and all this stuff. Manager will approve for 2 hours. Let us say you send for approval, he will approve only for 1 hour or 2 hours. In our case, he approved for 3 hours. So the attendance was posted to 2002 info type only for 3 hours. So we are checking with some 8 hours or 6 hours. Say if it is greater than, we are going to create. If less than, we are not going to create. That's it. Okay, a comparison logic. It's not a big logic again, but it's the real-time things what we will do. That's why I am explaining over here. So I am cutting these both lines are here. Then I am creating looking again. It won't allow us. I think we have to go. We will try. So how we will compare? So we have an operation called HRS is equal to P num. What it will do is the number in the pair type. So whenever this is the pair type and this is the attendance type. So you have a pair type for that. So whatever the number is there in the particular pair type, that will put in the HRS. So we have a 3 now. You can press F1 as I said every time. You can go here. What is P? Because HRS is equal to we have given P. Right? Here is the P provided from current pair type. So then if I am going inside that, P num is number of hours. You can get start date of the end date and all this stuff again with the same P. So here after P I am using NUM. So I got the number that is 3 in the particular pair type. So what I have to do is HRS compare with. See here I am hard coding. You already know how to call a constant and all this stuff. So the same error it will come obviously. So what we can do here is I am changing this to a node called Y. Right? So here what we have to do, we have to create a Y node. Same level and Y node. So whenever it comes over here, it will read from here. So generally what we will go is we will go for a different rule. That also I will tell you in the next scenario how we can go to a different rule. Okay, once you are okay with this, we will go for a different rule. Why I am not telling now is if you are going to a different rule, you have to change the screen. You can't see the previous logic in the same screen. Okay, so why I have given if it is I am passing the HRS the 3 to HRS from the pair type and then I am going here. So what I have to do HRS, then I am comparing with I am hot coding again 8 say or 6 minimum 6 hours there should be attendance. Right? If it is less than, the star implies now because there is only less than, this will go for is equal to or greater than. Right? Less than means less than 6. So then what I am going to do, if it is less than, I am going to add nothing. If it is equal to 6 or greater than 6, then I am going to generate the 6. Right? So here also I have to put the same logic. HRS is equal to P num and 2Y. Right? When it is a public holiday also, he has to work for minimum 6 hours. So this is a comparison here we are doing and we are pushing it to the time type when the condition was successful. Let us see how this was working. A bit lengthy rule, but there is a logic inside. So definitely it should not work for this employee now. So because it is checking with 6, the number is 3. Right? We'll just change the number. what it will do in the master data. Right? 16, that will become 7 hours. So if you run now, our rule will read, it should generate right now it is generating because it is greater than 6. If you can check for the same employee changing the master data. Even if it is equal to 6 also, it will generate 1. So likewise you can put a number of conditions within our PCR.
Krishna, can we also check from and to time? Because employee, whenever he wants, he can come, and if he puts in like evening, if he
That is the
comes.
clock in clock out time. We are going to work on that.
Okay.
When we come to that topic, we will check.
Okay. And Krishna, one more thing, we are adding this to compulsory of quota, so it will keep. If I work for 2 days, it will keep increasing, is it?
Yeah, how many days? See, in the quota you are telling increase. Whenever it was generated, it will increase. That's it. See, in the previous quota, if you remember 2.5, 2.5, it is becoming as 5.
Okay.
Right? So here 1, 1, all this stuff, it will become as whatever the comp of you have. You can set a limit for that also. That depends. See, whatever you want, you can do. You have to understand what we have to write. Right? Remaining, we can do anything as per the client request.
Yeah, actually, we have a requirement like if I work for, if I work on this coming weekend, I have to utilize that whatever earned comp of within 1 year.
Within 1 year.
Yeah, the deduction interval should be within 1 year. And after 6 months, if I work, from that particular date to next 1 year, I will have period to use that quota.
See, what you have to do is you have to create some time types which will pass throughout your, period. Okay. Whenever the quota you are creating, from that day, every day you generate 1 to that time type, adding. And in another PCR, you check it becomes so-and-so dates or not. If the so-and-so date is there, whatever the quota is there, you can, delete the quota or you can exit the quota. That depends. You just think we can do anything on that also. But if you are telling leap year and all this stuff, the one day what is the difference is coming, then you have to check with the month and date. Right?
And the quota what you are generating is 1 year validity, right? Or it's still 31 till 1 year?
1 year validity, that is why we are doing carry forward, right?
Oh, this also will be added to carry forward? We can add it, right?
As of now, we didn't done anything to comp up.
Okay.
If you want,
But we can do
carry
that.
forward.
Okay.
If you don't want, you don't do that.
Okay.
If
Fine.
client requires it should go for 2 years, then it should stop. Then create a time type to calculate that 2 years period.
Okay.
Then stop it. Else, there are several things. It's a mathematics again.
Okay.
You have to understand how we are using these, tools. Right?
Okay, Krishna.
Yeah. Anything else from anybody? A bit confusing topic maybe today, but it's really meant for us. We have to work more on these things, especially you are coming for, positive time management. These things many times you won't get in negative time management. but we have to work more than these things on positive time management. We are going to work on positive time management maybe from the next class. So just go through these things and try to understand. I'm going to explain more on these, pair types again and again. Okay, apart from that, you have to, a bit keen on the logic, what we are going to, what we are writing and what we are going to write. If you are understanding, whatever the logic we are writing, and if you can do with your idea system, then it will be great. So I think everything is fine from my side. If any questions are there, quickly tell me. If not, I will close the session for the day. Rakesh, I hope you are in middle of the session.
Krishna, I have one last question.
Sure.
Yeah, Krishna, tell me. But I could able
You
to
are-
understand that.
No issues, right?
Yeah. I could able to
Just
follow.
try on the system. So I hope everybody got the access to the server, right?
Yeah, we got the access.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Okay, Krishna, I have one last question. How can we restrict if someone works on a public or on a weekend, it should not give him comp off. Only if he works on a public holiday, it has to consider for comp off. We have to check the holiday calendar VRS, HOL, CL, is it?
We have done the same thing, right? Today, what we work. See, here itself we have put a logic.
Yes.
So here I mentioned only 0 and star. So then basing on that, if it is 1, 2, 3, you can do whatever you want.
Okay, sir.
You can produce 0.5 also if it is a half day holiday.
Okay.
Then see you guys tomorrow on the same time like 8:30.